First at 6, Oregon enters the 100 deadliest days of summer. What you can do to stay safe on the roads during one of the busiest times of the year. And today, the nation honors its fallen heroes. Coming up at 6:20, we take you inside the elite Marine unit tasked with giving them a final salute. An alleged thief targets a protected bird nest.
There he's reaching down into the nest, as you can see.
We talked to a witness who was able to catch him in the act. Good morning, and thank you for joining us on your Monday here. I'm China Green. We have Ashley Grams doing traffic. We have Rod Hill doing weather. Let's start off with a look at weather.
My turn. All right. Good morning on this Memorial Day. We have cloudy skies. We've got some rain showers, but so far the wetness has been out east. You can see a line of showers. This is nearing the Idaho border at this hour. It's been raining more than not the last couple of hours up in Astoria. We've got light moisture being reported all the way down into Lincoln City. A few showers have passed through Longview. And other than that, it's kind of some sprinkles around Portland and kind of some sprinkles down around Salem. Here's a socked in wet Lincoln City camera from our Chinook Winds Casino Resort location. 53 with the raindrops at the coast. That'll be a morning thing. This afternoon, you folks should be dry. And then here's Portland. I think some of us will get some traces of rain or maybe a little bit more than that. A lot of us probably won't see anything. And the best chance of moisture will be this morning. But we are starting with the clouds. 58 degrees, 61 at noon. This afternoon, eventually the rain chance, any rain chance will end and we'll open up some sun breaks and see a high of 68. Here's Ashley.
Yeah, sounds not too bad. Kind of a similar story here for our commute. We're in pretty good shape. You can see all the green on the map here on the east side. We'll take you to the Glen Jackson Bridge. Plenty of elbow room for those of you commuting to and from Oregon at Washington today. And a look at the west side. This is Sunset Highway at Washington Park, right before you get into those tunnels, and lots of room there, as well as a little bit further south. This is I-5 at Nyberg in Tualatin. Now, a reminder for those of you who take the Morrison Bridge, especially those who take it overnight. There are going to be some overnight closures. That starts tonight at 10 o'clock and lasts until 5 in the morning. This is for inspection, so May 27th through the 30th. And it is going to impact some ramps. So if you're leaving early or late, you might see some impacts to those ramps on I-5 and I-84. China?
Ashley, thank you. Hey, a reminder for commuters about TriMet's Memorial Day schedule. Today, all buses and MAX trains will run on Sunday schedule. So there's also no West service, and Portland streetcar will run on its Saturday schedule. And now between Memorial Day to Labor Day is one of the busiest times of the year on the road. Sunrise reporter Thomas Schultz is in Drive 8 this morning. Thomas, how are the roads looking this morning?
Well, China, still a lot of elbow room, as Ash would say. We're going on I-5 south here. We're in Vancouver. We're seeing a little bit of drizzle, something Rod mentioned earlier this morning, that Clark County is getting just a tad bit of rain. And yeah, once again, this is the start of, as ODOT calls it, the 100 deadliest days of summer. Now, of course, during the summer, all of us want to get out, see Oregon scenery, but that means there's a lot of traffic on the roads. ODOT says it's one of the busiest times of the year. This summer, AAA expects nearly 500,000 Oregonians to travel. All that congestion, guys, can lead to more crashes and more fatalities. And just over the past week, ODOT says crew members have been hurt in crashes across the state. These crashes primarily happen when other drivers fail to slow down, or ODOT says we're not paying attention behind the wheel. Now, today on Memorial Day and throughout the summer, ODOT is urging people to use TripCheck to see up-to-date road conditions. Leave early to give yourself plenty of time to get to your destination. And instead of driving alone, ODOT says it might be a good idea to use public transit or carpool instead, and always silence your phone and keep your eyes on the road. Another thing that ODOT really wants to make drivers aware of is when you do see crews, you do see people out working on the roadways, make sure you're focused and paying attention. Those lanes can change quickly. Of course, in those situations, it's really important as well to be paying attention and not being on your phone. You got to be vigilant in case there are crew members working on the roadways wherever they may be. China?
Thomas, thank you. We'll check back in with you in just a little bit here. But first, we're learning new information about a deadly fire in a neighborhood in Lebanon. People who live near the property say it was a source of an ongoing problem for their community, and now they're demanding action. The fire involved several cars with reported explosions that injured 2 firefighters, and 1 person was found dead inside a burned car. Neighbors say that this fire was an isolated incident, and for many, it was a breaking point.
It's time to get stuff done.
Yeah.
We shouldn't have to live like this. We shouldn't have to be on pins and needles, lack of a better term, about our safety and our well-being. because of one household.
The cause of the fire remains unknown and the identity of the victim has not been released. Meantime, an investigation is underway into the death of a person found by crews responding to a natural gas leak. It happened in a home near Northeast 6th Terrace and Scott Avenue in Gresham. First responders said that they noted a strong gas smell coming from a building when they arrived. After checking neighboring buildings and getting gas levels back to safe levels, crews entered the home and found the body of a man upstairs. The incident is now under investigation. The community of Northport in Northeast Washington is grieving this morning after a teen went missing while swimming in the ocean near Long Beach. He was swimming with two adults just before sunset on Friday when officials say that they ran into some sort of trouble in the water. The Coast Guard rescued both adults but couldn't find the teen. One of those adults is still in hospital in critical condition, but the Coast Guard has suspended its search for the teen. Now the community of Northport is showing their support for the two families affected.
It's just like any other town, a little town, you know, like they have their kids and there's a lot of people that have lived here for lots of years, you know.
Members of the community say that while the town is small, they're big in support and are offering whatever help they can to the families of the missing teen and the staff member in the hospital. Portland police carried out a 5-day operation targeting drug activity across the city. The Goose Hollow neighborhood was an area of focus on the final day of the mission, as John Adams found that increased police presence was a welcome sight for some businesses.
On the east side of Providence Park, employees at the Express Market convenience store see the evidence of Portland's drug crisis daily.
We get some theft every day, every single day. And it's not just theft, it's also violent.
Justine was working the register when we stopped by on Friday morning and showed us what employees use to protect themselves.
We have to constantly carry tasers around and a baseball bat.
Justine explained that coming in contact with illicit drugs like fentanyl is just as concerning.
My coworker once had someone open their wallet and they had a tinfoil full of fentanyl just sitting there and next to their money. And he tried to pay with that money that was against the tinfoil, and my coworker's like, no, you gotta go.
On the other side of the stadium, another convenience store dealing with many of the same issues.
We get a lot of shoplifters come in. You know, there's been quite a bit of drug activity outside.
Portland police are looking to stop that drug activity. Friday was the final day of a week-long mission addressing drug activity across the city, with Oregon State Police joining the efforts on day 5.
Today, with the assistance of the Oregon State Police, which is really a force multiplier, we're going to go out and solve problems in this area.
According to PPB, the 5-day mission led to 78 people being referred to the city's deflection program, where people can opt for treatment over jail. Nearly 100 others were arrested for outstanding warrants or other crimes. A welcome sign for local businesses.
We just want a nice, clean city where people come buy stuff and there's no screaming, no yelling, no threatening of violence.
John Adams, KGW News.
Over the weekend, Lens Pinball hosted the Oregon Solid State Pinball Championship at Zed Food Court in Southeast Portland. Competitors came from across the country to play here. For one of them, it was an extra special moment.
I got really sick about 2 years ago, and I couldn't feel my body from the chest down, and I didn't think I was ever going to be able to play again after doing 400 plus tournaments, and it was kind of heartbreaking. And last night to come out for one of my first tournaments in a long time, it felt really good to actually come out and win it.
She's back, and fun fact, these machines were made between 1979 and 1990. I don't know why, Rob, but you just look like a guy who can get down to some pinball.
I wanted to be that guy. I really did, China.
But you're not?
You know, I mean, I was never any good, but I've played a pinball machine or two in my day. I kind of forgot about it. That one the woman we talked to, 400 tournaments that she's been in. Wow. All right, here's a look at our satellite radar composite over the 2 states. Eastern Oregon, good morning. Clouds and rain showers. Rain showers scattered more so overall in Washington than Oregon this morning, with the exception of Clatsop County down in the northern Tillamook County, where it's been wet for a while. And actually, there are reports of light moisture all the way down through at least Lincoln City. So the coast is kind of socked in. So far in Portland and Salem, it's been basically some sprinkles around, but not enough to really make anything wet. There's a shot this morning live of our state capitol, 56 degrees under the cloudy skies. Sun's up, of course, in downtown Portland. Can't see it. Cloudy skies. 58 is your temperature out the door. Winds are light. Everybody's comfortable. Sandy's been holding at 53 for the last couple of hours. Estacada 51. Silverton is the one spot on these two maps that has dipped below 50, reporting 49, 54 out in Dallas. Good morning to you folks. All right, the afternoon looks to be mainly dry. We've got the rain this morning along the coast. You folks will absolutely be dry this afternoon, probably open up some sun breaks. For the rest of us looking for some developing sun breaks, it's tough to know how much sun we open up or don't, but should be primarily dry by mid-afternoon on. About 70 out east, low 70s in Central Oregon, upper 60s up and down I-5, and 50-degree temperatures along the coast, about 60 for a high. Winds are mainly light, except the gorge. You folks will get some westerlies increasing. So if you live in the Dalles Hood River, you could have some west gusts up to about 25 eventually. Today's this cooler wave comes in. Portland 68, and then just like that, we go warm and sunny. 82 tomorrow, 87 on Wednesday. Another system brings us the chance of some light rain on Thursday, and then we pop back up into the mid-80s on Friday and Saturday. So kind of a down, up week on your 7-day forecast.